From the floor of the CME Group, this is Danny Riley with today's MrTopStep update. We're going to call today's video, the markets can run but not hide. We've seen this big up move in the S&P over the last couple of days, and then we've also seen these big failed rallies. As the markets continue to digest some of this negative news, they seem to be putting it in a better fashion as far as the markets are concerned. For the last 2 days, the S&P has opened sharply higher, down-ticked one or two handles, and then took off to the upside. As I walked over to do this morning's tape, the S&P just traded up to 1322.70, about four handles lower than yesterday's high, up toward the 27 even level. Now, you know what, the big problem here is that we're in the middle of the summer market, somewhat of the dog days of summer that we could call it. And the markets, again, seem to be back and filling for some type of up move. We've seen this big down move where we washed out a lot of sell stops. We saw another big up move, and then we've seen another big down move, and then we're going back up again. I know that sounds kind of funny, but those are the patterns that we're seeing here. And it doesn't really look indicative of another big sell-off. I mean, as much as we may think that the news is bad and that the market should be adjusting in kind to the downside, they're not. And that tells us that there's a good possibility that we're going to see another pop to the upside. Now, what we have seen in the last couple of days, is, as I said, was that we've seen these big rallies, and then we've seen these big late-day sell-offs, and I think we've seen three in a row. Now, the S&P just came off that 2270 high and sold down to the 1320 level, but we think what will happen here is the markets are going to go quiet, and as we go into the July expiration, despite the statistics being somewhat on the negative side, I think the last 6 out of the last 6 July expirations have been down. We think that there could be a possibility that we could see a little bit of further upside. We've got the 1334 even level as our upside pivot today. And what we think is if the markets rally into those highs above the 1327 level up into the 1330 levels, then we'll probably see another area of resistance toward those levels. But as far as everything's concerned down here, it's pretty quiet, and volumes are saying the same thing. We'll be back with another MrTopStep update.